your levels are like on certain things to see, so are your magnesium levels, something like that, how are your fat levels balanced out. That's really one of the best ways to see if you're going to be absorbing it properly. But if not, doing things like the rotation diet, that's going to try and, or elimination diets to make sure you're getting the right foods, you're not overtaxing, your body's not being overtaxed by if you eat eggs every single day, twice a day. And it's just, your body's going to be stressed out from doing that. No, and if you do, but that might be one thing where you want to only do them every 4 days. But then also looking at transit time. So you can do, I think they use like caraway seeds. You can swallow some of those and then see when it comes out in your poop. And if it's taken 3-4 days, that's a really long transit time. It should be shortened down. I think looking 12 to 18 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
But
what
you
I
want to be cutting it down.
Those seeds.
No, this is, I don't know if that was in there or not. Did you read it?
I want to do that.
There you go.
Also
Yeah.
about,
That's a good tip, thank you.
it's, that said, it shouldn't stink and it shouldn't sink. That's,
Even though I said stink twice, yeah.
it's seriously though, I mean, it shouldn't,
It could, like, an earthy smell. I mean, it might smell, but it shouldn't be foul smelling. You don't want to be like, oh, it's nasty.
and it shouldn't stink.
Right. It shouldn't be a floater either.
What?
Where
Okay,
it shouldn't be like 5 flushes to get it down. No, it should go down easily, but it shouldn't just drop like a rock. Yes, Charlie.
So I think you talked about this book, but I don't remember. What is his stance on kind of vitamins and supplements?
There's a great picture in the book of a sailboat, one that's kind of like shoddy looking, kind of like just built together, and then another one looking great. So the one that's shoddy looking, I think has some gold nails in it or something, like barely holding it together. So that's kind of what you're doing. If you're eating horribly and you're taking a couple of those vitamins, well, that's just kind of holding you together. But if you're eating great and you still might need some supplementation, go for it. But ultimately, we shouldn't need to have to take anything else. But you have to also get to that point where you're ready to just eat organic, you're eating the grass-fed, you're eating everything like that, you're eating right for your metabolic type. It may take some supplements to get to that point where your body's balanced out, but once you're on it, you really shouldn't need it then. Any other questions?
Yeah, that's questions.
Got it.
What does the book say on, say, like excess harvest over the summer of like tomatoes? Is that safe to can, used throughout the year? Assuming that you can in like a glass, ball mason jar or something like that.
I don't know so much that it said in here, but I would say, like you said, you're doing it properly, that's what you want to do. Like you said, using the glass jar, getting it from especially getting it from your own garden, you're growing it well. These are all going to be pluses. I'd rather do that than go get a non-organic, something from the store in the wintertime where it's been shipped a couple thousand miles, you don't know if it's that fresh. At least this, can it yourself, it's organic, it's good. I don't know if it says in the book, but I would recommend, I would say that you're going to be better off with something like that.
So there's no loss of nutrients over time?
It's going to happen just because it will. I mean, especially because you have to cook it, that kind of thing too. But I don't know, I haven't seen any studies, but if one would be better than the other. If it's coming from my garden and I'm canning it and I'm going to have it, and we're in February now, I'm going to have it in February versus if I'm going to the store and I'm going to get some veggie that's not that great taste, like you said, tomato, doesn't have all that flavor. I'd rather just stick with the can. I feel more comfortable doing that.
I agree. If you back and pack it, it's probably not going to lose that many nutrients, right?
I would say that it's going to be better than probably what you're going to find, yeah.
All right.
Go for
Thanks
it.
again.
You got it.
So, say you want to have, something sweet,
Mhm.
because, I think everybody does at one point or another. So, like, when is the best time to eat it, given that it's, say, organic and maybe like organic dark chocolate
Mhm.
or whatever, or gluten-free, just...
Making sure having it like with your balance, trying to make it a balance of your meal. So if you normally have, maybe your breakdown is you have 50% protein, 30% fat, 20% carbs, I'm just throwing out numbers. Well, try and make that part of your 20%. So don't let it load you up so that you're all of a sudden at 60% carbs and you only have 40% for protein and fat. You're not gonna be happy. Still trying to keep like those ratios for like the protein type, the carb type, or if you're a mixed type, in balance. So I think that's at least a little bit easier way to go about it. It's not gonna affect you as much if you just had, hey, it's the middle of the afternoon, I just want a donut. You eat it. That's gonna really throw you off. That's gonna shoot your blood sugar up, drop it, and you're not gonna be that happy from that. Versus you might be a little bit more tolerant of it if you have it with some fat, with some protein.
But realistic,
Well, I was just gonna say, and that's what would happen if you, like, you ate your meal, then like 3 hours later before you went to bed, you had something sweet and only that, so that's what would happen during the night, like your blood sugar would raise and then it would drop.
Right, and then I mean you might be waking up in the
Right.
middle of the night, tossing and turning, and you're starving, and you can't sleep because all of a sudden your blood sugar is just down at the floor. Like your body's not going to be functioning right again, because that's especially the time when growth hormone's going to be at its highest. It needs to be functioning properly. If your body has to make like releasing more sugar then to try and bring the blood sugar up, you're going to be all over the place, that roller coaster ride.
it sounds like it's really important what snack you have at night. I mean, let's say you're gonna have
Anytime.
a snack.
It doesn't have to be even at night. I mean, the meal before you go to bed, yeah, anything.
Right, with me, realistically, I'm gonna want a snack,
Mm-hmm.
not with a meal,
Yeah.
you know, like.
But then just
you know,
trying to
I
find a
prefer
good
to
balance
sleep.
for it. What's up?
And that also depends on my type.
Right. So, again, it's going to be different if you're a carb type, if you're a protein type, if you're a mixed type, what that proportion is. Like, you don't want to just be 100% carbs and 100% protein, because that still is going to throw your body out of whack. That's where it's looking at the tachometer, trying to find what's going to be the best ratios for you.
So you have to find a snack with all that different stuff in it.
Right. I mean, it doesn't have to be one single thing, but it could be one or two things where you combine them to help you out. Anything else?
Nick, great job.
Well, let's do it again next month.
Okay.
I'm
What
ready.
is